Welcome to my brand new podcast, Project Unload, powered by absolutely nothing because we really don't have any sponsors yet. But if you know any, please send them our way. So today we have our special guest, and his name is Alan D'Souza. He's also my friend. So, Alan, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm very good. So, what are we going to talk about, Alan?
I think we need to address the fact that everyone is creating podcast.
I think actually I cannot ignore the fact that because even I have started my own podcast recently, and it's a great way of voicing your opinion. I mean, I'm highly inspired by Navya Naveli Nanda. Her podcast is just amazing. I mean, she's such a good orator. The way she speaks and everything, and the topics they discuss in their podcast is just fabulous.
Right, Shivam. Also, I've been listening to the Ranveer show, if you know about that. I've been inspired by him, and I think every day I watch his podcast while traveling, and he talks about such great things, intellectual conversation.
But there's one more thing I really like about podcast is that you can just switch it on and you can go about your work. You don't have to stick to a screen and see whatever is happening. You can simply listen to the podcast and still do your work. It's a great way of multitasking.
I think soon Netflix should start its own podcast where you don't have to see the screen always, where you can just listen.
To be honest, I feel they already have a podcast channel, but I'm not sure of it. I think I heard about it, but then I don't know if that's true.
Do they? But I have no idea about it. Let's see.
If they don't, they should really come up with one. I would love to listen to their podcast.
Me too. It would be so exciting. I don't know, something different other than watching a movie or a series.
Now if I search about podcast on YouTube and these new creators, podcast creators come up, they all talk about their journeys and struggles. And somewhere I feel why. I mean, you can talk about such good topics, you have such great following and everything. You can make some change in the society, and you can, really talk about something that is legit and happening around you.
Yes. Also, I started listening to podcasts way back, I think in 2016 or 17. I seen it on a show called as Mom, where she was listening to a podcast which was like an affirmation. So that's how I know about podcasts.
I think for me, podcast was something which was irrelevant because I saw this option on my iPhone and it said podcast. And I always thought, what is it supposed to be? Is it like some kind of a radio medium, or I don't know, because I was not aware of the fact that there's something called as podcast. I only knew that if you have to listen to something, it's radio. It's the only way you can listen to good songs, people talking to each other, celebrities and all, apart from the TV medium. So that was the only way. Okay. And but lately podcast has become such a thing, and I'm glad it has become a thing.
I know, right? Even I seen the feature on the phone, and but I never really opened. I just seen from out ki yeah, there is something called as podcast. But actually, I started watching my first podcast on Spotify, and my first ever podcast was the Ranveer show, which I started watching a couple of weeks back, I would say.
I'll tell you one more thing. It's not just us millennials, it is relatable to everyone, including the Gen Z and the boomers. I mean, if I talk about my mother, she listens to all kinds of podcasts, right from those meditation, yoga, and all those, physical learning podcasts to the entertainment ones. And why not? I mean, my mother is old now, okay, and she stays at home. So this is a great way of, just passing your time and yet learning about new things.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if my parents do listen to podcast and they know the actual meaning of what is a podcast. If I explain it to them what is a podcast, maybe they might have a different meaning towards it. Or maybe, but honestly, if I say my dad, he's been so into watching the TV shows if he will watch a TV show before I do if something is released. So I think their generation is completely different as to what our generation was.
You're taking me back to those old days wherein I used to come back from school and used to watch Kasauti Zindagi Ki Kyunki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi with my parents, and those were such golden days, yeah.
I know, right? But I also did watch this serial, but I had a different set of serials that we used to watch at my home.
What were those?
I think it was Jessie, if you remember.
Jassi Jassi Koi Nahi. Oh, Mona Singh. You know, when I was a kid, I really used to think that that's how she looks. And then her makeover happened, and I was like, damn, she looks hot.
That was one of the best serials that we used to watch. I remember me, my brother, and mom, we used to watch, switch off all the lights and sit in the living room and watch this serial, and it was one of the best.
I really want to know the reason behind switching off the lights.
So you get better clarity.
Okay. You know, when I was a kid, I also used to watch a lot of cartoons, and my favorite was Power Rangers.
Okay, I think mine was Doraemon, and there were a couple of more cartoons. I would say I can't remember the name, but I very well remember that whenever I used to go to school, I used to have my lunch and go. So I used to watch this particular cartoon called as Oswald and Winnie. It was one of my favorite.
I hated Oswald. I mean, that was one of the creepiest shows I've ever seen in my life, including Dora the Explorer. I mean, that bitch has so much of freedom. I never had so much of freedom in my life. मतलब उसके पेरेंट्स ने उसको कभी रोका ही नहीं, बेटा तू जहाँ जाना है जहाँ जी ले अपनी जिंदगी, यू नो, सिमरन जी ले जिंदगी अपनी.
Yeah, but why so much hate towards Oswald? Has he done something to you?
No, it's just a stupid cartoon. And even when I was a kid, I couldn't relate to it.
Okay, I don't think so. Also, Noddy was one of my favorite cartoons while I was growing up. I don't know, I have a weird set of shows that I liked back then. There was also Sonpari, then Shakalaka Boom Boom, then we had a couple of more other shows that I was hooked to, always watching whenever I was on a summer vacation. That was a time when I had the most number of time to watch.
But if you've realized, our liking towards what we watch changes with our age. Like when we are kids, we only see things like cartoons and, you know, all those entertainment shows and, you know, things which tells us a story, you know. But as we grow, we see sensible things, something that is relatable to what we are going through in our life.
I think even now I do feel watching the same shows, the same cartoons. So I will not agree with you on this. I think that it doesn't matter if you are 10 or you're 30, but even when I turn 30, I will still want to watch the old cartoons that I used to watch or the old shows.
I mean, no denying that I still watch Shin Chan, and sometimes, you know, when I eat my food, I watch old episodes of Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma. I mean, that is one show that I think everyone has watched in their life, you know. It's very relatable. It talks to you in a way that no other show has ever done to you, right?
I know, right? Tarak Mehta has been favorite of everyone. I think I started watching when it actually started, and there was a point in my life where I was hooked to that show. I can't tell you, I was watching I think 6 to 7 hours a day, that show. But it was one of the best shows that time that we had while growing up.
You know, I would really want to unveil a secret over here that one of the major reason why I shifted to Mumbai was Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma. Because after watching that show, I thought that even I can become an actor. And I told my parents, "Ki, listen, I want to do what they are doing in that show." And they were like, "Are you crazy?" But they still supported me and they sent me to Mumbai, and that's how I came here. But you know, little did I know that it requires a lot of struggle, and I was not ready to do that. I joined theatre, by the way. In the first year of college, I joined theatre. I did it for like 2 months, and then I realized this is not my cup of tea. I cannot do this. Although I can act very well, but the struggle that comes with it is not my cup of tea.
Oh, I wasn't aware about that, but I have never been into theater. But I am very sure that you must be great at it.
I wasn't really great at it, but if you ask me if I can act, I think I can.
Don't you think that reels have taken over YouTube?
Oh, any day. Believe me. Earlier, people used to go on YouTube to watch these videos, but now they simply open Instagram or even shorts on YouTube. And why not? These videos are very crisp, they have a very short duration, they talk sense. So, I would really prefer reels over those long ass videos.
Me too. Even I would prefer reels. That is the first thing that I touch on my Instagram, and my hand goes to the reel section. And reels are something, they are helpful also at the same time, entertaining. Also, I am obsessed with the remakes that people are doing with the song. It's just so good.
I personally don't like those because I just cringe. It's a full cringe.
I don't know, but I just like it. It just sounds so good. The songs that they remake. Also, people have come up with such people with such beautiful talents have come out of reel.
Also, I cannot deny the fact that a lot of songs have come to my library through Reels and TikToks. I mean, in 2020, when the pandemic had hit and everyone was sitting in their houses, I think TikTok was the only way I could entertain myself because I was tired of watching the same shows on Netflix and on YouTube or TV for that matter. But yeah, TikTok, my god, such creativity everywhere. Yeah, it was cringy, but at the same time, people had enough time to make new reels. Sorry, TikTok, my bad. Yeah, but reels are in a way TikTok only, right? After TikTok got banned, reels came in the picture. And even I started creating reels, and people really like them. And the reach these reels have is immense. I mean, I remember getting my 1 million views for the very first time. That happened last to last year. And I was on cloud 9. I was like, dude, if it was on YouTube, it wouldn't have garnered so much of traffic. But here, it's just amazing.
I'm so happy for you that you have got millions of views on your reels. Also, at the same time, while you were speaking, I was laughing because TikTok was something that I would never download in my life.
Well,
Because
you really can't because it's banned in India now.
I know that, but I had a group of friends who, if I would tell them that I'm just downloading TikTok, and they'll be like, "Ew."
But that's like peer pressure. Like I mean, I had people like that who were like, "Yaar, why are you downloading TikTok? Chutiya hai kya? TikTok kaun dekhta hai?" I'm like, this is my own choice. This is my personal choice. If I like that space, I am gonna be a part of it.
People had this, I think people have this very weird mindset that if you make TikTok, you belong to a certain what do you say?
Believe me, I couldn't agree more. People will look at you in a certain way if you start making reels or TikToks, They literally call these people TikToker as if it's some gali. अरे तू तो TikToker है. I'm like, buddy, TikToker है तो मतलब क्या है? मतलब what are you trying to say?
But TikTok, I think, was a cheaper version, I would say, and Reels is like a very sophisticated.
That is because everyone is on Instagram, right from all the hoity toity people to all the people who we used to see on TikTok apparently are on Instagram.
Yeah, like you can see everyone on Instagram lately, and even I made my first reel in the second lockdown, which happened in 2021. I made it on a skincare, which I had purchased. My best friend, she motivated me to make that. So when I put that reel out, I got a good response from people.
So thank you so much guys for sticking around. See you next time. Bye bye.